Hey, weird question, Sarah. Can I see your nails? Yeah. Okay.
Why?
Because my daughters came home with, well, actually, my daughter came home with nails, and they were like really long, and I did not like them.
Oh, what grade?
Wait, long to find long.
She's in 4th grade. But I guess her friends brought them in for like lunch or recess, and then they all sat and like put them on. Yeah. They were like, you know, I don't know, they were really like long, and I'm like,
yeah.
Yours are normal. But I mean, hers were
longer
than, yes.
Like they intended them to cut them, or they're like,
yeah. I don't know what they did.
No, they're having a good time. But you're like, take those shits off right now. I'm not raising
by the end of the day, do they?
I just don't understand. What's the idea with long nails? They were longer than yours, so I was like, "What? I don't get it.
Click clack.
I was just gonna say the click clacks where it's at.
Yeah, they were doing the whole like. Oh God!
I can almost picture them like in school with their little Chromebooks going like.
They're like. Yeah. And the teacher was like, if we didn't have long nails, we could probably type better.
Yeah. And I'm like, when did you find time in school, in elementary school, to put on nails? You know what I mean?
Like, you and your friends have time to go and get a coffee.
Oh God.
I love it.
Oh my God. 4th grader with nails. Do you think they were using adult size and they were like just kind of a little too big for the little hands?
That's what happened. Yeah.
I think, a friend ordered it on Amazon and they brought it in, and at recess,
a friend ordered it on Amazon. Can we backtrack there for a hot second? The nails is one thing. How are 4th graders ordering things on Amazon?
Kids find a way, my friend.
When
Just
the
like
package
Jurassic
shows
Park,
up,
life finds a way.
You're going to tell me that Amazon is like the chaos theory?
Yes, it is the chaos theory.
Yeah. Tuck that knowledge away, Malcolm. That's right.
Especially when there's things that show up my door. I'm like, oh, it has my name on it. I didn't buy anything.
Oh, this is a widespread problem on 2 out of 3 boxes of podcasters. That's crazy. Really? So do they have your Amazon login on their phone?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, approve.
And then there's like, oh, I just impulsively want to buy something. I'm like, huh?
I needed 4 Funko Pops today.
Basically. That's Julian order.
And then does he like pay you back, or he's like, oh, come on, Mom, I really needed it. You know how it goes. Or was like he tried to convince you that it was okay?
It just shows up. It's just, well, usually he does say something, but but they be plotting on my paycheck. They're like, hey, when do you get paid? I'm like, the 15th and 30th. They're like, all right. And like, how much can I spend? I'm like, yo, 40 and below, man. 40 and below.
Whoa, that's legit like 5 below, but way more fancy.
Yeah, 40 and below.
Wow.
And then, like, Sophia's
some
like
quality stuff with 40.
I know. Sophia gets her upkeeps, like her little lashes and her like stuff. And
this is next level parenting knowledge right now.
I know.
See? Sophia gets the nails too.
Yeah, Sophia gets the nails.
Yeah, but Sophia's not in 4th grade.
That's so true.
All right. Well,
valid.
This week in Head of Parents, we're talking about working moms and the absolute myth of balance. Because apparently you're supposed to crush it at work, be fully present at home, show up to every school event at 1:30 in the afternoon, and still somehow pack lunches that look like they belong on TikTok. We're getting real about the pressure, the expectations, why it feels like no matter what you do, you're falling short somewhere. And sometimes your kids even buy stuff on Amazon without you knowing. I'm Michael Haidt.
I'm Sara G.
And I'm Mike Levine.
Kids don't come with a handbook, so we need your help.
Where do babies come from?
Where do you think they come from?
Is this a kissing book?
Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
I learned it by watching you. There are no rules in this house. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
We sent them to the best boarding schools. We hired the best nannies. We did everything right.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
No drinking, no drugs, no kissing, no tattoos, no piercings, no ritual animal slaughters of any kind.
Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
This is Hey Other Parents, an honest, messy, imperfect show for raising kids.
Welcome back. It's us again.
Good point.
Hello.
Hey there.
Welcome.
So glad you guys are here to hang out with us. We figured this parenting thing on season 5 of Hey the Parents. For our current listeners, you know what you're in for. So before we were just chatting about kids at lunch, kids at Mike's school with his or Mike's daughter's school rather, with his daughter, and she came home with some nails done, and we had a whole conversation with Sara about the kids going onto Amazon. She's working hard for the money, and kids are just like buying things and packages to show them to her house. But Sara D, we're already setting the precedent. What are we in for today?
Oh man, this episode we're talking about, the struggle that women face of being a working mom and being a perfect mom.
You guys are perfect. I said you guys are perfect moms. I'm tossing Mike into the category. Sara D, you are a good mom.
Oh, thanks. I try once in a while,
Yeah, Mike Levine, you're a good honorary girl.
I also am an honorary girl.
That's
all right,
true.
My girls have dubbed me the honorary girl of their lives. So
this is good because I'm going to learn so much from both of you this episode.
Listeners cannot currently see this, but I am currently wrapped in a butterfly blanket. Okay. That is my daughter's. So.
And I love the way that you're wearing it right now because it looks like a strapless dress.
It does, right?
It made me really laugh.
Yeah.
Yes, I love
I'm
it.
Sporting my honorary girl dress.
Yes,
Wow.
embrace your femininity. I love it.
Oh, that you could show the different ways that it could be worn. That's good,
Yeah,
I love it.
Because
Yeah.
you don't when you buy something that's only good for one purpose. That's hard to come to grips with. But when you can have something that you could do different things with, a multi-purpose item like that, I think you're in a good spot. Oh, yeah. You're in a pretty good spot.
I make this look good.
I was saying, not only a podcaster, but also a model. How do you do it?
Listeners at home, listen. I don't mean to talk badly about us, but you know who the good looking one is. So on that note, happy early Mother's Day. This episode's going to be coming out on Friday before Mother's Day. So we thought it'd be kind of a cool episode to talk about some of the pressure and puts a little and some of the things going on with working moms and talk about the struggles and the reality of what it actually is like, because we hear you. And we thought it would be good to kind of put a little focus on that today. And also, sometimes we talk about things that are not topics you may necessarily think of for a podcast. But I feel like for us, at least, we like to get into these things because, people should be talking about them. So today, we're going to learn from Sara. Somehow we're going to learn from Mike. And we're also going to, maybe kind of rethink a couple things and have a different focus on what's important. And maybe this will apply to both partners, or even in some cases, the people that are thinking about having kids, and I don't know why they're listening to this podcast, but hey, what do I know? So we're going to jump right in now. And I guess we're kind of like thinking about for this episode, it's not a tips episode. It's not like, here's 5 things to change your life. Don't stop listening just yet. And here's how to do better. This is about realities, about pressure, it's about expectations. And it isn't about how to fix it. It's about what it actually feels like to live in that space every day. And maybe we'll rethink our way we approach things. So Sara D, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to you to start off. So maybe let's look at Mike Levine's, what he sees with his wife. Mike Levine, we're gonna put it on you for a hot second. So out of curiosity, so like you've kind of seen both parts, Mike. You were kind of like you were sort of like the sole person working in the house for a bit, and then Taylor kind of went back to work, and you're kind of seeing that shift, and now. In some ways, I feel like things have kind of calmed down for a bit for you guys and your family, but it definitely the pressure and things for Taylor kind of increased, and none of the things have gone away for what she's wanted to do and mom guilt and all that stuff. So how's that going for her?
Yeah, Taylor has been, as you just mentioned, kind of a stay-at-home mom for a while, and she had just recently started working. And it's funny because, I come home and sometimes maybe the dishes may not always be done, or, the room may be a mess or something like that. And, Taylor will get stressed out. And I'm like, hey, listen, we're both working. We're working at this together. Like, our house doesn't have to be perfect. Like, there's this idea, I think, that, and maybe it's from social media or I don't know, you see all those little shorts and you see all these moms doing everything, and it's just, I think that like affects her, but me, I'm more of like the guy.
No,
I'm more
Are you
of like,
serious?
I don't know if you've seen Friends. Have you seen I don't know if you've seen Friends, but there's this one episode where Joey on Friends and Rachel are sitting and they're eating spaghetti, and Joey drops the spaghetti on the floor, and Rachel goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Joey. I dropped spaghetti on the floor." He goes, Do you know where you are? you're in Joey's house, like, and then he takes his own spaghetti and throws it on the floor.
Oh my
God. So I say that because I'm like, hey, you know what? We're in this together. You're working, I'm working. If the house is a mess, it's okay. And I think she struggles with that a little bit because she used to, make sure that was all said and done for whatever her reasons were. Maybe, she felt like she wanted to contribute in some way as a stay-at-home mom or, and, now it's kind of a struggle. And I say, hey, this is all a learning process. It's part of the experience and we will get through it together. So I just try to support her in that situation, even though it could be challenging for her sometimes, to maybe, have all the dishes or whatever, it's also difficult too, because she works from home. Right. So there's an expectation there. There's another expectation
which
there,
makes
too.
it harder sometimes.
Yes. So I'm sure now with all like a lot more stay at home jobs, there's a battle like, oh, well, I'm going to work every day and traveling and in the, and you're at home. There's that whole kind of expectation there. So I don't know. I just try to in my house, in my household, we try to support each other. And it may not always be clean. Dinner may not always be hot, but it's always there.
Dinner might not be cooked. Sometimes there's no dinner.
Yeah, sometimes there's no dinner. Yes, sometimes there is no dinner. And I'm like, you know what, kids? Make a sandwich.
You're good. No, I love that. Yeah. No, I think I can sympathize with that idea where there's this pressure to being from a stay-at-home mom, and that's a job all into itself because you're taking care of children, taking care of the house. There's an expectation that if your house is not perfect, if you're a stay-at-home mom, what are you doing with your day? Eating bonbons and watching, telenovelas. And meanwhile, that's definitely not the case because, at one point in my career, I was not working and I was home with Julian. And it was like a forced maternity leave, basically.
Guess we're home.
I was like, well. But there was a lot of pressure to feel like to justify the fact that I was home and not working, and it was like this pressure to make sure the house was clean and everything was done. And then getting back into work, the next year I was back, I went back into work and, you're like, oh my God, everything's a mess again. And you're like, I did it before. Why can't I do it now? And it's like, because I'm also out of the house for 8 hours a day, know? And trying to give yourself grace. It's hard. Especially I think, at least for our generation, I know I definitely struggle between the TikTok, these moms, they're like, oh, just follow me on my casual morning, waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, watch my morning routine.
Oh, that's fake. It's fake.
Yes, it's fake. Making these amazing lunches. My house is super organized. I have the little automatic something that sanitizes stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Then they go to work. Then they come back home. The house is perfect. And I'm like, really?
You missed the workout too. They go to work out, then they go to work.
Yes, right. They worked out fully to just self-care, hashtag self-care.
You left out, sorry guys, you left out one more thing. They actually don't sweat and their hair is in a ponytail when they're at the workout.
Right. And then they're like, guess I'm going to work messy. Oh my God. I'm like, I'd be a sweaty beast.
Like, is it though? Is it?
And then also too, I think there's also like that. My mom was a stay-at-home mom as well. She did wind up working later on, like having an office within the house, but she still managed to do so much. Like we always had a hot meal. The house was always immaculate. Like you could like literally eat off the floor. She also put us to work on you, Saturday. Though. Yeah, so it's exciting. So there's like this pressure that I have in my brain, like, I'm not living the way that Carmen has raised me. And what would Carmen do?
We're gonna leave out the other half of Carmen with some of the health the medical advice, but the other stuff is a lot for you.
There's a TikTok, and then there's like reality, because like also too, like Carmen didn't drive, so like if we didn't like. We would have catch a ride somewhere for whatever activity, or my dad would drive us or whatever. It was different. So like
don't talk about the blizzard.
Yeah. There are different times, like, but it's so much pressure to like just do it all and be amazing at it.
Yes.
It's all like what you know, right? I mean, like you've seen your mom, so you kind of, it transcends to this belief that you're supposed to be doing that somehow. That's got to be a lot.
Yeah.
I also think back to like my own mother, and
American Idol's on right now. Come on.
Yeah.
What's 12 inches
I
of
think
snow?
back sometimes to just like all the stuff that she went through, raising 3 kids, on her own for a little bit, and being a working mom. And she would take us actually to she used to work for like a law firm as a legal secretary, and I remember she would take us to work sometimes, and like I would hang out in the break room, but before we'd go to work with her, she'd like, I used to be into models, so she'd take me to like a model shop, and I'd buy like a model like.
Oh my god, that conversation is not what I thought you meant.
Hysterical. He was also like 5-6 years old.
I know. He's like, I saw the girls on 17 magazine, and I was like, yep, introduce me, mom.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Wrong model shop.
It's all about context, people. There's stores for models? That doesn't seem right.
Where was the store?
Oh my god.
But so I would sit in like the break room and just make models and wait for her to finish her shift at, as a legal secretary, and then hop back on the train in New York and, go back home. Aww. So, that must have been really tough thinking about it. Now taking your kids to work with you, and even trying to talk to your boss to be like, hey, I got no babysitter. Can I bring my kids?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Imagine.
And you're like, no.
Yeah. So, man, it's tough road out there.
When you bring those things up, it's kind of like, it's funny too, because I had this perception that like when you as a kid go to work with a parent, sometimes like they try to portray it as like all like, like the fun side of it. Like, oh, we're going to have a snack break now and take you out to lunch. So like you leave and you're like, work doesn't sound so bad. They have snack time, and then they play on computers, and then they go out to lunch. This is great.
Right. This is great. They staple some things.
Yes. And then, but the thing is like, even like I see my wife, and she, I think going from 2 to 3 kids is hard. Because because the thing is like with my wife, I kind of, what I see too is, look, having any number of kids is hard. I'm not going to make it sound like it's not. So I don't mean to come across that way. The part that gets a little tricky though, is when you've, more kids, more events. And then you have also the circumstance of like more kids, more people need to watch them. So like, having the odd number, 3 kids or even 2 kids, sometimes, you are in the circumstance where you're playing paper, rock, scissors of who's going to the event or who's going to the thing. And then you have the other dynamic where the kid themselves all of a sudden is like, oh, I want you there. And then like, for my wife already feeling the guilt of not being able to do everything. She feels like that cuts hard, because it's like the expectation is like, kids, you kind of choose what you between the two of you figure where you're going to, but then all of a sudden the throwing the wrench into plans, and the kid's like, oh, daddy's a bum, I want you there. I mean, maybe they don't say that, but how could they say that in their film? But no, but that's hard too, because then all of a sudden you feel like guilt and that pressure, to go on a field trip, to go to a party, to sign up for an activity. And, the timing is always crazy, but it's hard because, going from a job where my wife would be in the city, the expectation was she'd be in the city 5 days a week. She'd leave out, maybe drop the kids off at like early morning, where the kids can't be home to have cereal, whatever. They have to go to a thing, and then not see them until dinner time. It was just, it kind of was a set pattern where it was just the expectation was, I see mommy then, and then I'll see daddy in the afternoon, and then we'll all be together at a certain time at like 6 o'clock, whatever it was. So then being home for part of the week and being at work part of the week, it blended so much that, like for our littlest one, Noah, who sometimes makes an appearance on the podcast, whether we like it or not, he just will come down to the basement where my wife works. And it was hard because there was an expectation afterwards that once COVID was under control, a lot of corporate policies and thoughts were like, we don't want to see your kids pop up on camera anymore. We don't want them. They shouldn't even exist. It should be like kids are meant to be not seen and not heard. So, they couldn't even be in the same room. Yeah. Right. So, and I get it to a certain point, but it's hard for the kids when they know that you're like, whatever, like 20 feet away. And then you could go downstairs and ask mom a question, which is funny too, because they're also like, my wife's like, why is Noah downstairs? He couldn't figure out to ask you what's that? I didn't even know he did that. I'm doing like 5 other things, and all of a sudden,
Mom knows where everything is.
I know you're looking around the room. You're like, all right, count the number of people. It's me. 1, 2. Wait, where's the third? And then and then you're like, oh no, he got out again. And then he went downstairs. I'm like, oh god damn it. So but that's hard because from their perception, if mommy's home, I mean, it's a little bit more of like understanding and learning now. But if mommy's home, like I want to be in the basement, look at toys. I want to talk to mommy. I want to like take a peek at what she's doing. So there's that hard separation.
I know. Oh, I feel that. I feel like sometimes like it's like. You had mentioned something about like, like I'm sure Rachel missing like any event or a birthday party. But I know as a mom, I am with work, I'm able to, get to those events or whatever, a little more, flexibility.
Well, when you work somewhere for a while, sometimes you have a little bit more flexibility. Like it just
but also like with our job,
the nature of the day. Yeah.
Right. But the nature of the day, I'm able within my schedule of life, I'm able to do the after school stuff and the weekend stuff. So, but speaking for the moms like Rachel, or maybe Taylor, is that when they don't show up for the birthday parties, especially when they're younger, and then the other moms will be like, oh, and they see you, Mike, oh my goodness, you're here with the kids.
Oh my God, you're so involved. You're such a good dad. You got
Rachel?
off of the
she
chair.
has her work. Oh,
yes.
Oh. And you're now with the 3 kids by yourself. Look at you. Like,
so you're getting like the unnecessary compliments, and also you're crapping all over it. The mom,
right? And then you get the shade because like I've seen it, like where it's like the moms be flocking to the dads and like, oh my goodness, and then it's like, oh, that's the second birthday party she missed, and it's like really.
Yeah, we're looking
like,
at her database and we're seeing that she's just not up to speed.
Like, why are we judging? Or you're the mom, because I've done that. I'm the mom that brings like the party, I'm picking up extra kids because I'm trying to help my fellow moms out there. Like you can't come to the party. I'm gonna bring your kid. Like let's go, and and it's like, oh, you got her again. Oh wow, okay, and it's like, yeah, because she's got to work. Like that's why she's here in the party with the present to enjoy, because mom is working.
It's not that like you care about what people think, because you shouldn't, like when it comes to things like that, but like that judgment puts pressure on you as a mother to try, because it's like does it make you feel like all these other moms are doing it better than you, like when they do things like that,
Or they're judging the hell out of you.
That's the worst part. It's like, because it's not like she's like off partying somewhere. She's at work,
Yeah.
Or maybe she has another obligation.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like, I wish sometimes other women would give each other grace in that sense where you don't have to cut someone down to like, I don't know, like build you up, like where, because I've seen it before, like where I'm like, they're at work though. It's not like they had a choice, you know, or or like we're counting. I'm like, oh, that gets me nervous because I hate that because I'm just like, I'm not playing that game. Like we're counting. It's like the third birthday party.
Like
getting
sized up. That's insane.
Yeah. I'm like, is there like a burn book somewhere? Like a page.
Oh God. Can you imagine? God, what would a grown up burn book look like? They first have your glasses on, you hold it like really far away.
Yes. So I'm glad I'm out of the birthday party scene. You know, now it's just like older kids. But
that's gross though. That's really gross.
Yeah. Like I just hate that, like the shady, like nice and stuff like that. Like
passive aggressive, nice, shady. Yeah.
Man, that makes my blood pressure spike. I'm just like,
I don't know, like other women. I don't know, like other women like have faced that, but like it definitely like, and that's like where like that pressure is. It's like you're trying to do everything, and then like something slips through the cracks somehow, you know.
And you're at fault because you're supposed to have everything together, and you're the mother, you know.
Exactly.
I feel like some of those things could cause like a rift between the parents because you're trying to like you're sometimes like stuff comes up at work, and then like even the guilt, you're like, I really can't do this thing on a Tuesday, or I can't do this thing on a Wednesday, or the kid's sick, and you're like, all right, this day I have a meeting, you have this. If they're sick for 2 days, I'll grab the first one, you grab the second one. It's fine until the day comes where you're both like at the same time, like almost in use, and you're both like, I can't take the day. And you're like, oh,
right.
and then and all of a sudden, you know.
And then I think that that's another thing. It's like the, you know, where you don't want to miss days for work and things of that nature. But then it feels like you're also kind of saying like, whose is more important in some ways.
Yes.
Like who needs to be into work? Who could actually, you know,
a good one.
Call in. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like the girl's job is, or the girls, look at me, the woman's job.
The little girl's job versus the big strong man. No,
oh, you're so cute, little girl. Just working.
Oh God.
You know, like that's the one that like is easier to probably push aside and be like, all right, you're a mom already. They kind of expect you to like not come in, you know?
Yeah, right. But it seems like
it's terrible.
But work is also not okay with it. They're not like, oh, you. So you know, they're also counting just like the moms of the parties. They're like, oh, you've been out this number of days, you know?
Right, for your kid again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know we've encountered situations like that, and I think just from like, you know, it's weird because it's like you try to justify it, right? And as far as like when Taylor and I kind of figure out who's got to pick up who, you know, I'm like, well, you know, they're more comfortable. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe you should go.
You know what's funny though? You bring up a good point. There are circumstances where, even from a guy's perspective, from my perspective, I'll just say mine. There's events, and you sort of want to size up or find out if like the quote unquote, and this obviously is like a heterosexual relationship, but you find out like if the moms are going or if the dads are going. Right. So like it could be a party and you're like, you know, all of a sudden, not that I really care, like whatever, but sometimes like it'll be like, oh, you know what, a lot of the moms are going, maybe I'll go to this one, or like, the dads are going to this one. Side note, most of the dads are just sitting there with their foot on the wall looking at the phone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yes. I'd rather go when the moms are going so let's get to talk to people. But you know, but it's you know, there's definitely like that sort of thing. And like, you know, for those of you who have like multiple kids, kind of like, you know, the second and third time you're kind of like, you feel it maybe, but not as quite as much because you're sort of like, you know, whatever. You know, some of this nonsense.
I have to say, like, I did enjoy sometimes going to like the parties. You get to talk to people, but like after like the third kid, you're like, all right, rocks, paper, scissors, who's going to this thing? Like, because I do not want to go to another Chuck E. Cheese party or something like that. You know what I mean?
Who's this, salad bar? Yeah, the whole thing.
Glamour. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It
you know
started
what,
off good.
It did.
But like after the third kid, I'm like, all right, is this over yet? Like, come on.
I'm tired of
yeah. So when you saw Trolls for like the fifth time, you're like, I don't know if all the kids should have movie theater parties. But yeah, no, it's there is something to say about, you know, pizza, cake, you know, yeah. I don't know. But what about like other circumstances? Like, you know, so you talked about, you know, women kind of, you know, other women, other moms at parties and stuff. also like have something that's kind of a wild circumstance that Sarah brought up before is about, you know, kind of having a positive viewpoint and looking out for each other. But sometimes there's circumstances where at work or in different types of environments, sometimes what you're hoping for from other women, or, you know, obviously this is what we're talking about this episode, they may not be necessarily supportive. In fact, you might feel like this immense guilt of like, well, I've done this before. I could handle my job and raise a family and do all these things. So the expectation is you could do all of these things and more too. And that's what I'm holding you to. And that feels a little toxic to me.
You know, like we judge, and I think we all judge it, because I definitely, you know, I've judged before, so I can't be like, you know, living in a glass house. Yeah. But you know, it's like, you're like, oh, but I did that, or that, like, that's easy, or, you know, they can just make more time during their day. But I think sometimes we forget that everyone's carrying different, like, stuff on their plate in their day and stuff like that, you know? But definitely it is hard, like, you know, like, and then like, let alone like, you know, like you're trying to make the lunches and the dinners. Remember the time that I did my big strike?
Yes, I know. I was starting to like waiting for this.
Another coworker to also go on strike too.
All right, we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this right now. All right,
amazing.
Sarah, lay it down. We never actually formally talked about this on the podcast, so this is like we alluded to it, but I was like, I didn't know if you want to talk about it. So
yes, okay. So here's
listen up, men,
strike story.
Kids and people. It's not just. It's a whole family. It's not a. It's everybody. It's whoever's doing the after school or everything else wants to feel appreciated. So
right. Gather around children on the carpet. Okay. Yes. So there I was.
Come around, young
it was like the beginning of the school year. And I just feel like it's been like going through it. Like with Julian, like last year, he had like some health issues. And then like summer was fine. But, you know, like it's just getting hard getting into like the workflow sometimes, driving around, you know, and the kids and I and Jean, we've all fallen into like this, like, what's for dinner? I don't like that. And then it's like, I'm becoming a short order cook, you know, or I make dinner and like, you know, they've eaten something along the way, which probably I gave them because they were like starving, but then I make the dinner and then the dinner goes to waste anyways. So poor Jean, I was like, oh, I'm in the mood for oxtail. And if anyone knows anything about oxtail takes like a good 48 hours to almost make, because you gotta like soften it, like you gotta boil it, it's gotta like slow cook. You gotta put a lot of love into it. You gotta marinate it, you know, so clean it. There's a whole bunch of things.
And when it's done, it's good.
It is good. So I was like, I'm in the mood for oxtail. They have a sale at the supermarket. Jean loves oxtail. That's gonna be Sunday's dinner. Everyone's gonna feast on it. We're gonna have a good day.
Everyone's gonna be happy. This is good.
Everyone's gonna be happy. So I started making it Saturday night. Jean and I are hanging out. We're chilling. And then Sunday morning, it's cooking. I'm like, yeah, this could be the best. And that is when Jean tells me he has plans to go out with friends.
Oh, no.
And then, of course, I already got, oxtail for dinner. Aw, you know, from the kids. And I, like The Exorcist, my head spun around.
Yeah.
360. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, did you not see me cook this oxtail? Like starting to do all that. And I kept saying it 2 days ago. Like, you didn't see me cooking, preparing? None of that. Man. I'm like, you're going out? And he's like, yeah, for her birthday. And I was like, ah. So, and then, yes, basically. And, so basically, long story short, I was like, I'm done. I am so done. I'm done being not appreciated. I'm done no one eating what I make. We're changing things in this house. So I was like, this is the last meal I am making for any of y'all.
Nice.
This is the tail end of my cooking.
Poor Jean, he ate like 3 like bowlfuls of it before he went out to brunch. He was like, oh my God. He was like panic eating. He's like, I love it. So good.
I could probably eat some eggs Benedict after 4 bowls of this.
This is great. I love you. He's like, please don't be mad. So like then that week, the kids and him, they had to figure out dinners. I was like, I'm not making anything. I'm like, I bought stuff. I'm like, figure it out. Like, here are the ingredients, or here's like the easy stuff to make. Poor Julian. Sophia and Jean had Julian making like dinner like 2 times. He's like stressed, like spinning, like turning. He's like, Mom. He's like, how do you do this? I'm like, exactly.
It's not stirring.
All of a sudden, Julian looks at you. He's like, they don't appreciate anything.
Exactly. And then like
they're monsters.
I know. I think the first night, because they were like, "Oh, Mom, she's gonna get over this." Monday, I think they like ordered something out, and I was like, "No, I'm not eating that. I'm good. I'm totally gonna eat like this egg omelet or meat or something like that." And then the next day, Julie was cooking.
Did you eat what he made?
No, I didn't think I did. I really was like, I'm not eating with y'all. Like, I'm done.
Yeah, like you need to understand my anger level.
Then finally, I think I made like a peace treaty meal. I forgot what it was, but I was just like, fine. Like, I'm like, my poor Julian. He's like the only one cooking here.
I know.
but the crux of the matter was, for this strike, was that the feeling of like unappreciated, making all these meals and like no one's like eating. And it's like, I'm like, I keep telling them, I'm like, do you think it's my dream to wake up in the morning, go to work for 8 hours, come back home, drive everyone around, clean the house, cook dinner, and for no one to eat it? Like, do you think that's my dream, to stand here when I am so tired to make food and no one's eating it? And they're like, no, it wasn't. like, so you weren't born to do this? No, I was not.
You're like, are you, there's only one right answer right now. I hope you choose it.
Right. And Gene, bless his heart, he's like, yes, Mommy works hard and we're going to support her. I'm like, yes, we're going to communicate.
Yes, we're going to look at our calendar and put oxtail on the calendar and nothing else the next day.
Exactly. And you're going to forewarn me about these things. So anyway, things have, ever since the big strike, things have gone well. Still make the meals, still someone eats or doesn't eat, but I just don't care. At this point, I had to say, you know what? Like, they're not babies anymore. They can feed themselves. They don't like the food. It's not bad food. Like, you know, obviously if the meal is burnt, because that's happened before, you know, like something's like a disaster, like, you know, obviously you guys just own up and be like, all right, guys, let's order out or something. But, you know, and then obviously we order out, which we have to also scale back on. That's another issue in itself.
Yeah, no kidding,
but,
right?
You know, but the thing is that, you know, like now I had to let it go. I couldn't be perfect all the time. I couldn't make everyone happy all the time, because at the end of the day, I was like burning, like, was it the 2 ends of the candle or whatever?
Yeah.
And I needed to get some time back, you know? So I was like, okay, I make this meal. You don't like it? Then don't eat it. Like, there's other stuff, other options, you know, or I guess you're not really hungry, because I would eat it if I was starving, you know?
Right. And the thing too is that like it sounded like a major, besides being appreciated is one thing, but it sounded like there was a major mind shift. And like,
yes.
Like, you're cooking, and at first, like, I don't know, like, it's weird because, like, you know, I guess, like, when you're in the moment and you're doing that, like, the question maybe is, like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for, like, a sense of pride as a parent because I want to take care of my kids and be proud of, like, the house? Am I doing it to make other people happy? Am I doing it because other people are making me? It's a weird dynamic to kind of think about, like, the purpose of it. And I know obviously the purpose is to eat, and we know that. That's not what I'm getting at. I guess it's kind of like what's the mental state of it all? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think, you know, because I was raised, and I'm sure you guys were raised, like, whatever was on the table, you ate that. Like, there was no options.
Right.
I don't know where along the way it became like, I think some of it's like easier, you know, like, okay, less complaining, you got what you wanted. I think there's times like where it's like, oh, I don't want Alfredo sauce, I want red sauce. And you're like, well, it's already pasta, so it's just separated, and, you know, you do 2 things or whatever. Like, that's easy enough. And then somewhere it just became like there was a choice, you know? So I had to get back control. That's what it was. You know what I mean? Like, I had to get back control for myself and for them, you know, like where, and it's really more the kids, because Gene, for the most part, he will eat what's there or whatever, you know, like, and he like a big boy, he's like, I didn't want tacos tonight, but I ate them. I'm like,
right. I'm like, oh, good for you. Because the thing is like, you,
baby.
not just Sarah. I mean, you are an autonomous functioning adult. So like the thing is like you deserve to feel appreciated. You deserve to do things that you want to do, and you don't need other people telling you what you have to do. Right. There's consequences like being hungry, but the thing is like that part of it is like the gender roles and things of what you're supposed to do, and like according to that, you know, at the end of the day, somebody's got to make some food because kids have to eat. But like the feeling, I think, like, because we've kind of gotten away from it a little bit too in our house, like with the like, what does it mean when you don't like something, and then like the feeling as a parent is like, well, I don't want to be in your room at 9:30 at night hearing that you're hungry and that you can't go to sleep. Correct. Not like any of our kids are ever going to sleep hungry because they're eating snacks. God, you know, who even knows how much snacks they're having. So the thing is like that feeling that you're just like, it's easier to avoid it, and by just being like having a secondary meal or something like that, or like yogurt, whatever the heck it's going to be, or a fruit and water. But then for me, like if you want to see me rage bait, it's the moment where the kids are like, well, I took one bite, kind of dessert. I'm like, my dude, that is not what our expectation was. Because they want to
fill up on dessert.
Right. And then, or the best is when like they eat dessert and like, I'm still hungry. I'm like, you sure? Because it's a whole meal that we cooked over here, you know, and that's a whole thing too, which is crazy. But, you know, as someone taking care of their family, where you grew up with, you watched your mom, your dad, whatever, and doing that, you feel like, why is it not working for me? Maybe. And then like, you know, it's hurtful.
Yeah. But no, it's hurtful. And like I think because again, like you're working, you're doing exactly what everyone else is doing, and sometimes a little more. And then you're like, well, geez, like, you know, like where do I get some appreciation? But I do love the fact that I inspired another coworker of ours to go on strike.
Yeah.
And she did we called it friendly meals, like when you go to Friendly. So it's like hot dogs and mac and cheese. Or nuggets, and like she
like every night.
All like this easy stuff for the kids to make.
And she was doing it every night. Is that what the gameplay was?
Right. She wasn't making it. She was like, "You guys, you handle it. Here you go. Here's your hot dogs, your mac and cheese, your nuggets. Like here's some combination of like off the menu like kid meals." I understand
it. So she had this stuff just basically ready to be thrown into like a microwave or an air fryer or something, but she didn't do it.
Fryer, whatever.
And they can make it.
Yeah, and they can make it, and she's like, "You don't like what I make?" And like, she makes some good stuff. Like, what from like she says, like she's so smart. Actually, I've been meaning to like steal this idea. She'll make like all the meals for like the week, like lasagna or whatever. That all like her husband has to do is just put it in the oven. So everything's like already prepped, and then she makes like a big like vat of like some sort of soup because the kids like love soup or whatever, and like that way, like if they didn't want something, like, okay, get some soup then, like, you know, soup and a salad, soup or whatever. And I guess the kids were just throwing a fit, and she was like, you know what? I'm good too. She was like, here you go. I'm good too. She's like,
that's interesting.
I'll make whatever me and the husband, you know, what they like to eat. And she's like, for you guys, she's like, friendly meals, kid menu stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so
that's not
it was
a
the
bad
kids,
idea.
not the interesting that the parents still, it wasn't just her. It was like the couple would eat
their regular food. Yeah. Because they were complaining about the real food. So she was like, you know what? You want chicken nuggets and mac and cheese? Here you go. Have fun.
Man.
Have at it.
How'd she feel
I wonder if
after
it's
all
still
that?
going on.
I know. I was curious.
I know it's definitely gone on for a week. She might have trickled into week 2. I'm not sure. She's strong. She's a strong one.
I like it. Strong.
Yeah, we'll have to check in on Monday and see what happens.
So maybe that's like an interesting perspective. Like I mentioned it before, but that whole, I mean, the interesting perspective of hot dogs is not what I meant to say, but the interesting perspective of like asking yourself of like, why am I doing this thing? You know, like, am I doing it for pride? Am I doing it because I think like I'm proud of like taking care of my family? Or is it like more of guilt or other people telling you to do it? Or because you feel guilty or because, you know, you just, you're in a circumstance where it's just like forced upon you. But like that, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic, but I kind of like how Sarah's kind of like sort of put on the blinders and kind of taking herself out of the other people, other women, and kind of doing things. And the expectation is kind of, it's going to be what it's going to be a little bit more,
right? To
regroup some of that self-care time. I think it's good.
Yes, definitely need self-care time because you know what? Life's too short. You gotta like, you know, do a little something for yourself here and there.
So I guess like what Sarah was talking about, like in a way, is kind of like really setting boundaries, which is, you know, we all could use some boundaries. Boundaries are good, especially when the kids are on their scooter and they're driving around Mike's living room. as he's trying to record a podcast. But the thing is, you know, like there is, you know, for, you know, to support your spouse in both circumstances on both ends, you know, this idea of like skipping happy hour is okay. Maybe not going out with the coworkers. And then maybe for that perspective, it's, you know, from the other spouse of skipping happy hour. So it could be home to support the spouse, or maybe in the other circumstances as a female or whatever is I'm not going to happy hour. You guys are going. It's fine. I don't need to be there. It's okay. We'll catch up some other time. I'm going home to see my family or my kids. Right. You know, choosing family without apologizing, leaving on time, you know, obviously different jobs, different circumstances, but there's many times where I feel like it's easy for me to say I'm not a female. I'm not in the circumstance, but I do feel like in general in the world, sometimes you demand more respect. Not that often, but when you say no to things, I think people will somewhat respect you more. Can't be everything because then you're a problem. But you know, you could say certain things you could say no to, and at work, you know, things that you know you feel like you do your job well and you do a good job with the responsibilities. You don't need to do everything, and I think that's kind of a mind change is what you know many of us kind of feel, and I think like a lot of us maybe see that now after having kind of transitioned back to a different lifestyle of work after kind of being home with COVID and everything else. But that can't be COVID can't be on for 20 years, like the entire thing that changed the world, because people certainly lose track of things. As you can see, people forget to work. But I think like that mentality of like what's important, what makes you feel comfortable and taking care of yourself is something that is really important. Apart from Hug a Mom tour, you should probably be hugging only someone you're related to, I guess, in that way, because it would be weird, or somebody you know. How do you think people? And you know, Sara D is not the spokesperson for all women across America, right? But how do you think people could, you know, just show up better and be
better? I think we have to give each other grace. You know, like women have to give each other grace. I think we have to give ourselves grace in the sense of that. Obviously, we know that like TikTok and Instagram is not like reality, but it's hard not to like sometimes absorb it and be like, you want that, you know, like just to change your mindset, you know, like that you don't have to be perfect. The kids are better off to see you happy than like stressed out, to set those boundaries up with work, you know, and, you know, like when to turn things off and on, like, you know, like when to like stay later or do above and beyond whatever your goal is in life. Because, you know, if work is very important to you, then it should be, you know, and not to feel guilty for that, to have ambition. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think it's just really more mindset, like that, all that internal stuff, you know, and like not listening to what society tells you to do, you know?
I think my wife had mentioned that, and we've talked about this, like there are positives to get the guilt out of your head. And like you said, it work's important to you. I think, you know, boys and girls see a woman working hard in her career and having responsibility and growing. That is a positive thing. They see a strong woman. They see that as how the world can operate. So I think we all have to shed that nonsense that, you know, that's not a positive thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think to, you know, to support the women in your life, you know, I think like maybe making dinner one time or doing the dishes, you know, so that when mom comes home, you know, and she doesn't have to cook for dinner or something like that, just to kind of show appreciation and say, hey, don't worry about it tonight, mom, we got this, or something like that, you know?
Come on. Right. We all took home in careers when we were younger. You know how it is. If you were 12, you're 13 years old and you could make tacos from powder or mix, we could all help out. It could all be done. Yes. I know this may come as a surprise. So Sara D, last part before we get to the end of the last part of our show, I have a couple questions for you about Mother's Day. Not because I didn't buy a gift yet, but because I didn't buy a gift yet. What do you feel is a nice gift for Mother's Day? Like what nice hits and what doesn't hit?
I think like a spa. I love a spa, anything, you know, like a massage is always nice, you know, like take that time to like just relax.
Like carving out time. That's like, is it blocked off just for that?
Yes. And then I think like any time, like, you know, like pay for get my hair done, or, you know, like a nice dinner out somewhere or something like that. Like maybe not on Mother's Day dinner, but like, you know, like go go treat your friends, have it like a nice like time together, you know.
I think that's nice. What about what about the feeling of gifts from the spouse versus gifts from the kids?
Like, what do you mean? Like what I want from the kids, or
like what gifts do you think are nice? What gifts like to give some perspective? Like
from the kids, bring on the pasta necklaces. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I love anything the kids make themselves, anything they pick out. Like, you know, one year I brought Julian to Five Below to get my Mother's Day present because he wanted to. And he got me some random stuff, but I loved it. I loved it all. You know what? I love when they do their own thing. So I think anything from the kids are great. You know, from the husband, something, give me a spa day. One year, like I brought Julian, like I think it was like last year or the year before, I brought Julian, he wanted to do a secret trip. He needed something at the Five Below, and he bought a whole bunch of things for me, and I love that. Like anything. He also needed to borrow like $5 from me.
Yeah. Oh, is it where like he shoos you away and then he goes pick some stuff out?
Yeah, and then he was like, "Can I have $5?" I'm like, "Sure, here you go." But I love that. Anything the kids like pick out and do, like even as like a mosh podge and stuff, I'll take it. You know.
I like that. So Sophia, if you're listening, pasta necklace.
Pasta necklace, girl. Standards are low.
I love it. And then we got the ways to carve out time to force relaxation.
Yes.
I like to get the gift for my wife that's like allows her to go on those like little dates with each kid separately. So I usually get her like the like a cool coffee shop or someplace that she could go where she knows she's gonna enjoy it, maybe the kids can enjoy it. And I give her 3 different places, and then she could use them like 3 wishes for each kid gets to go on a date with mommy. I think that's nice. And then get her a little
that's such
something.
a nice
That's
idea.
cute. For herself,
I love that.
Yeah, maybe the nails also is good too, so she could do it without them.
Yeah, like it's made for her. She needs something for her, you know.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, you hear that little pumpkin?
Aww.
Someday someone's gonna treat you nice and not take your blanket.
That's right, but not this guy. I'm taking the blanket.
I'm not sure.
I
I just
bought the
reduced this
blanket.
to your daughter. All right. Well, before we switch over to the next part of our podcast, happy Mother's Day to the ladies.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. So we'd love to hear from you guys for our show. The question this week for you at home is, for those of you in a committed relationship, what do you want your partner to feel about a work-life balance? Info's in the show notes. You know what to do. So we're going to shift over now to our next part of our show. It is called Time to Unplug. Mother's Day edition. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's called Time to Unplug. This is where we talk about the things that are going on outside of our children, because sometimes we just need to have something for ourselves with our spouses. It gives us a chance to decompress, because you'll be a better we if you take care of me. And with that, Sarah D, what do we got?
Oh man, so Gene and I totally binge watched last night Big Mistakes on Netflix. It's with Dan Levy. And it's just it was just such an easy watch. He was like working, we were like hanging out, and it was just silly. It was like a silly show, funny. Dan like Levy, if you know him from Schitt's Creek, he's just amazing. Just a funny actor. The dynamics are great. It's just a feel good, silly movie. Just a show. Watch it. I recommend.
I'm curious. Is his character different in this versus how he was in?
So funny enough, Gene was like, I feel like he's like the same character, but not like. Ooh. So very similar, like like that snappy like humor. Mm-hmm. I think that's just his thing. It almost feels like, if you know Schitt's Creek, like Alexis, like how she always like talk about like these random things that she did that we never saw. It's like almost like now you saw the things that she's always was talking about.
Oh, really?
But they're not related, obviously. Like it's it's a whole different storyline. But it's like, oh, okay, like all those stories that she had.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what's happening here. You know,
that's really funny, because maybe it's how the show got inspired. You never know, right?
Maybe, that's true. It's actually really funny. So watch it, enjoy it. It's a good one.
When she was like the first or 2 episodes where she was like, you find out that she was like with a Colombian drug lord or something like that. Like she was
like she was kidnapped or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Mike Levy, what do you got going on?
I got baseball,
all of it.
Well, not just all of it, but a Mandalorian Grogu bobblehead. Check it out.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
that looks like the Yankees.
That's nice.
Yeah. So every year, my brothers and I, we at least try to go to one Yankee game, and that one specific Yankee game we go to is the Star Wars Day Yankee game. So I always have to get my bobblehead, and this year they had the Mandalorian Grogu bobblehead because the movie's coming out in a couple of weeks, and it's pretty cool. Oh so God, I definitely recommend having something like this to go to.
Can we just take a moment to talk about the fact that Jin Darin is on your box with no helmet on?
I know, right? I know. You see that?
Mike, you might not know a lot about Star Wars.
The helmet.
And I'm here to help you after the Sarah's Trivia question episode. So you have any questions, you let me know.
I will, definitely.
By the way, side note, Mike Levine is like the best knowledgeable person when it comes to Star Wars trivia. So I'm just giving him a hard time. It's insane how much background knowledge he knows.
He did beat me in that one trivia question.
It was one time. And you know what? Like a good relationship, I'll never forget.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What do you got going on, Mike?
So it's kind of random. We were talking about last week about escape rooms, and I feel like there's always this feeling of like, rekindling the magic at home. The out of context, that sounds insane. So rekindling the magic of escape room at home, and I feel like very often that's hard to do. So one of the things that I found, which is really, really wild, I bought it on sale, is a game. It's on Switch, it's on phone, it's on PC, Mac, whatever. I think the actual main part of the app has to be on like a PC or a Mac or a game console of some sorts. But there's a game called How, the number 2, and then Escape. And it's not amazing, but it's really good for an escape room. And the way it works, and this is not the first time there's games that are like set up like this, is there's a game and then there's a companion app. So you could use like your phone, your PC, your Mac to run the other part of it. And what happens is one person is seeing stuff on their screen that's different than what you see, and then you run it concurrently. So then if you're the phone person or whatever else, you see clues and things that the person that you're playing with don't see. So what you have to do is, the way you're supposed to do it is, you're not supposed to see each other's screens. So when you're in the room, you're telling the other person about what you're seeing on your phone or what you're seeing on the Switch or whatever, and you're trying to figure out how to get out of the room. It's really cool. It's kind of like if you're in an escape room and then you're in 2 different rooms, and you're kind of communicating through like a little hole or whatever else, but it's kind of that same mentality. And it seems we got a little bit, it was pretty cool to play. So I got it for like $3 on sale. It was pretty good. I'm sure it's no more than like, $8 or $9 to buy the game normally. So I think it's cool. I do like a good little brainy challenge. I think it's kind of fun. Get those,
fun.
Get the heartbeat going. Without working out. And it was cool. So I dug it. The companion app is free. You don't need to pay for that. So you just buy the game once, then have the phone or whatever else to play along with it. You don't even need to be online because when you start the game at the same time, the game knows kind of generally where you are. So you don't need to be like online or all that nonsense, all the networking craziness. So it was pretty cool.
Cool.
And that is how you have fun outside the escape room. In your own house, where sometimes you want to escape that room and go out to eat, but who knows? All right. So I think we're just about out of time on this episode. It's been so much fun hanging out with Mike and Sarah and getting the impression of what we are supposed to do as spouses, as a committed relationship, how to make the other person feel good, especially for Mother's Day and for women out there who are juggling it all, who are home, who are trying to make dinner that no one's going to eat, and then also drive them to places that they don't really want to go to. We see you there. So we'd like to take a moment to thank our listeners and supporters for donating to the show. If you want to help support this show, we can keep making episodes like this one. We have a link to donate in the show notes. If you don't have the means to do so, we always appreciate it when you tell your friends, your family, the strangers, other moms at birthday parties who are judging you quietly about the podcast, so you can reach more listeners. Maybe we can learn from them, they can learn from us, this growing community, and spread positivity and cheer and sarcasm. If you get a chance, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We can't wait to explore this parenting thing with you next week and Hey the Parents, because every week it's not a discussion about raising kids. Don't forget to charge your kids. It's probably because I was thinking of Amazon. Don't forget to hug your kids and charge your Chromebooks. That's new for me, for Mike, and for Sarah, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey the Parents, produced by Mike Levy and Sara Desreens and me, Michael Haidt. I edit and mix our show. Our intro voice recording was done by the one and only Coltrane. If you like our show, we'll help you consider going to the show notes and help support the podcast. Check the show notes for social media information and contacts. We look forward to seeing you next time. All right, cool.